1470 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 22 minutes before 9 o'clock this Monday morning. It's time for News Bites. This is the segment of AM Ocala Live where we read the news to you. We shorten it, though. We abbreviate it. We cut to the chase, get to the point, and give you an opportunity to hear as much news in a short period of time as possible. Typically, in these 20 minutes or so, we will cover 20 to 25 stories, and we do this so that you can catch up on the news and that we can put news back in News Talk. And remember, we'll also give you, when we have it, the information that will give you the tools so you can look it up. In other words, we'll tell you the news agency we got the stories from so you can look up the story. The first story does come from the Associated Press. Authorities are searching for two suspects wanted in the deadly shooting of a man who had just finished holiday shopping with his wife at an upscale mall in northern New Jersey. Acting Essex County Prosecutor Carolyn Murray says the shooting happened around 9 p.m. yesterday at the mall at Short Hills. She says two men confronted a couple returning to their vehicle on the third level of a parking deck. Murray says the husband, a 30-year-old Hudson County resident, was shot in the head before the men took off in his silver 2012 Range Rover. His wife was not injured. The man was pronounced dead at a hospital. The Range Rover has New Jersey license plates U26BVD. The victim's name has not been released. What a horrible story.
Horrible. This is from the Florida News Network out of Orlando. 7 musical acts have now scrubbed their upcoming performances at SeaWorld Orlando's Brands Brew and Barbecue concert series. Martina McBride is the latest to cancel. REO Speedwagon, Trisha Yearwood, Willie Nelson, Hart, Bare Naked Ladies, and Cheap Trick recently withdrew after pressure from fans who signed online petitions, tweeted, and posted on Facebook pages demanding they not play at the Orlando theme park. Fans became upset after watching the CNN documentary Blackfish, which first aired in October. The show raises questions about the safety and humaneness of keeping killer whales in captivity. A SeaWorld spokesperson says the park expects other artists will drop out because of this campaign. SeaWorld is working to book replacement acts, and once they have all been confirmed, it will repost the schedule on the SeaWorld website.
And from the Associated Press, a man married less than 7 hours was killed along with a stranded motorist that he stopped to help in the snow when they were struck by several vehicles. The man was on the way back from his wedding reception to a hotel where the accident when the accident happened. 49-year-old William Riley Knight of Crown Point, Indiana, was driving with his wife, Nikki, at about 11:45 p.m. Saturday when they saw a woman who had slid off the road in the snow near Crown Point.
Oh, my God.
He said, "We've got to stop. It's late and they need help," Nikki Knight told the Chicago Sun-Times yesterday. He pulled his truck into the nearby driveway, and Nikki Knight waited inside while he went out to help 42-year-old Linda Darlington of Crown Point. They were standing by the side of the road when they were struck by one vehicle and then two more, according to the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Nikki Knight, a registered nurse, said when she got to the wreck, neither Knight nor Darlington had pulses. They were pronounced dead at the scene early yesterday. "I went from being a newlywed to a widow in less than 48 hours, the highest high to the lowest low," Nikki Knight said. "It's a blur." Police said all the drivers involved in the crash remained at the scene. No charges had been filed as of yesterday afternoon. Knight also is survived by two of his daughters, a stepdaughter and a stepson.
How horrible. This is from MSNBC. Pope Francis, responding to conservative criticisms that his economic and social ideas smack of communism, said in an Italian newspaper interview yesterday that he is not a Marxist, but that even Marxists can be good people. Francis also denied reports that he would name a woman cardinal, said there was good progress in cleaning up Vatican finances, and confirmed that he would visit Israel and the Palestinian territories next year. Last month, American radio talk show host Rush Limbaugh, who has a huge following in the United States, rallied against the Pope for written comments made on the world economy.
The next story is from ABC News. The Obama family participated in the annual Christmas in Washington charity show last night, a holiday tradition in the nation's capital. The event featured musical performances by the Backstreet Boys, Sheryl Crow, Janelle Monáe, Pat Monahan, and Anna Kendrick, also of Twilight movie fame, and proceeds go to the Children's National Medical Center. In brief remarks, the president thanked the performers for sharing their holiday spirit here with us tonight, and jokingly reminded his daughters that he too enjoys presents, but he quickly reminded the audience that there was more to the occasion. This is also a time to remember the story of a child born to two faithful travelers on a holy night long ago. He said, musing on the teachings of Christianity, "Love the Lord, love our neighbors as we love ourselves, a teaching that has endured for generations, and today it lies in the heart of my faith and millions of Americans and billions around the globe."
This is a story from the Florida News Network. Squirrels are decimating elms again. Florida gardeners are reporting that squirrels are damaging trees like oaks and magnolias by gnawing around stems until they die and turn brown or snap off in storms. This season, squirrels are reported cutting off the ends of the branches of Chinese elms. The squirrels don't seem to be after the seeds. They like the ends of the branches. Gardening experts are not sure what the squirrels are doing. This is a deciduous tree, and in the fall there may be sugar stored in the branches, and the squirrels are attracting hawks. One report said a hawk was in a screened enclosure appearing to chase a squirrel. Another hawk was seen carrying a squirrel away. Here is the good news. Even though the damage to the elms look bad, it only amounts to mild pruning. The trees are going to be back next spring with more shoots for the squirrels to chomp off in the fall. That is, if there are any squirrels left after the hawks have had their way with them, for disgruntled homeowners.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They get out their guns and take care of it real quick.
From the Associated Press, the FBI has helped to disrupt or prevent nearly 150 shootings and violent attacks this year, in part by steering potential gunmen toward mental health professionals. There have been hundreds of these disruptions since 2011, according to a statement from Attorney General Eric Holder. And he made that statement to an audience of police chiefs back in October, touting the behind-the-scenes work of a small FBI unit based out of Quantico, Virginia. In most cases, the FBI has helped potential offenders get access to mental health care. Preventing mass shootings through threat assessments and treatment is an unusual tactic for an agency known for its crime fighting and not for interventions. The achievement stands out during a time when President Barack Obama made curbing gun violence a priority for his administration, yet has had very little success. 1 year after the deadly mass shooting at a Connecticut elementary school, the White House's biggest efforts to curb gun violence, attempts to reinstate the assault weapons ban and expand background checks for all gun purchases, failed without congressional support.
This is a This is a story out of Tallahassee. A proposal to give lower tuition rates to veterans appears to be on a fast track in the state legislature. It's already been approved by two committees with overwhelming support, and the bill has picked up the endorsement of Governor Rick Scott, who is a Navy veteran. Under current law, veterans have to live in Florida for a full year before they qualify for in-state tuition rates. This bill would do away with the residency requirements for veterans. It's named in honor of Florida Congressman Bill Young, who died this year in the wake of failing health. The House passed a similar bill in the spring, but it died in the Senate.
And this story from the Associated Press: strong weekend Mega Millions ticket sales easily could push tomorrow's jackpot above last year's record $656 million prize. No ticket matched the six numbers needed to win Friday's $425 million prize. It was raised Saturday to $550 million for tomorrow's drawing, the fourth largest in U.S. history. Paula Otto, executive director of the Virginia Lottery and Mega Millions lead director, told the Associated Press yesterday that sales were up by as much as 20% over weekend numbers and were expected to spike tomorrow, the day of the drawing, I think we'll be very close to the record and maybe even surpass it, Otto said, adding that sales are difficult to predict. Lotto players are procrastinators. They tend to buy on the day of the draw. As of Friday, players had bought enough tickets to cover roughly half of the 259 million possible number combinations, according to Otto.
This is a story out of Lakeland. A Department of Children and Families investigator in Central Florida has been charged with sexual battery. According to the Lakeland, Florida Police Department, 27-year-old Jason Montgomery visited the home of a child he was assigned to in September. While at the home, police say he allegedly asked the children in the house to leave and told their mother she needed to have sex with him. Investigators say the woman resisted but felt helpless due to Montgomery's position with the Department of Children and Families. Police say Montgomery sexually battered her that day and another occasion several weeks later. Montgomery told police he did not have any sexual or personal interaction with the woman, but that DNA evidence found at the victim's residence matched Montgomery's DNA profile. Montgomery is no longer employed with the Department of Children and Families. This is reported by the Orlando Sentinel.
And from the Las Vegas Sun, the Vatican is asking Catholics to participate in a global survey about the modern family that looks at topics such as birth control, divorce, and same-sex marriage. The survey, which deals with the social challenges the church faces, reflects new leadership under Pope Francis, according to experts. Among other questions, the survey asks about acceptance of teachings on family planning, church attitudes towards same-sex unions, sacraments for divorcees who remarry, and the place of family prayer in today's culture. Dioceses are free to administer the surveys the way they see fit, but bishops' approaches have varied, with the survey going out to all parishioners in some dioceses and others surveying only parish leaders. Some churches are announcing the efforts during the weekend masses, and information has been posted on some diocesan websites.
Google has been called arrogant and immoral for arguing that a privacy claim brought by internet users in the UK should not be heard by the British legal system. The search giant will tell the High Court today that it should throw out claims that it secretly tracked the browsing habits of millions of iPhone users. In the first group claim brought against Google in the UK, the internet firm has insisted that the lawsuit must be brought in California, where it is based, instead of in a British courtroom. Hundreds of internet users are preparing to sue Google if the test case gets the green light, reported by The Guardian.
From the Associated Press, meat from horses used in laboratory procedures was sold as fit for human consumption and landed on French dinner tables. Officers from France's National Gendarmerie, probably said that wrong, accompanied by food safety and veterinary investigators, carried out raids in 11 regions in southern France before dawn this morning, arresting 21 people, according to a statement. An official speaking on condition of anonymity because details had not yet been released said the animals had been used in laboratories, including that of drug maker Sanofi Pasteur, and then, instead of being destroyed, ended up in the food chain. Sanofi told the La Parisienne newspaper this morning that the horses were used to create antibodies against rabies and tetanus, among others. The company, which said it cooperated in the investigation, said it has resold about 200 horses in the past 3 years to vet schools, individuals, and professionals. The company said the lab uses horses for about 3 years before reselling them, tagged and certified. It said it does not carry out testing on the animals, only making life-saving medicines from them.
A mother bear and her 2 cubs are back in custody after pulling apart a chain link fence at an Apopka rehabilitation center and escaping. They were found in a tree a short distance away, tranquilized, and taken to a different facility. It's just one of the many difficult issues wildlife officers and biologists have grappled with in the nearly 2 weeks since 54-year-old Susan Chalfant was mauled in her Seminole County, Florida neighborhood. The mother bear and her cubs will be held at a facility in Sorrento until DNA analysis absolves them of having been involved in the incident that left Chalfant with serious injuries to her face and head. If testing shows this was the bear that attacked Chalfant, a decision will be made on whether to euthanize it. However, officials think a bear caught December the 5th and later euthanized was the one involved in the attack. There were actually 3 cubs in the escape. Two were caught and taken into custody. The third cub ran off. Officers are still looking for it, but said it is old enough to be self-sufficient.
From the Associated Press, Academy Award-winning actress Joan Fontaine, who found stardom playing naive wives in Alfred Hitchcock's Suspicion and Rebecca, and also was featured in films by Billy Wilder, Fritz Lang, and Nicholas Ray, died yesterday. She was 96 years old. Fontaine, the sister of fellow Oscar winner Olivia de Havilland, died in her sleep in her Carmel, California home yesterday morning, according to a longtime friend, Noelle Butel. Fontaine had been fading in recent days and died peacefully, according to Butel.
As an historic oil and gas boom transforms the U.S. energy sector, Wall Street is losing the battle to remain the partner of choice for energy producers and major consumers seeking to protect themselves against volatile prices. In the thriving Texas Permian oil patch and beyond, banks are being edged out by a handful of the world's biggest corporations, including BP, PIC, Cargill, and Koch Industries. With Wall Street hamstrung by growing regulatory restrictions, a recently finalized ban on proprietary trading, and increased capital requirements, these corporate behemoths are leveraging their robust balance sheets and savvy global trading desks to capture as much as a quarter of the global multi-billion-dollar market for hedging commodity prices, reported by Reuters.
And from the UPI News Network, Senate Republicans, after asking for it earlier last week, received a piece of the action when the U.S. Supreme Court hears argument on the scope of a president's recess appointment power, or at least President Obama's exercise of that power. In an order December 9th, the justices said a lawyer for Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and 44 other Republicans could have 1/4 of the hour set aside for argument on January 13th. The National Labor Relations Board and the administration get half of the hour, while the company that challenged Obama's appointments to the board gets the final 1/4 hour. The divided argument in the recess appointment power case is scheduled only a couple of weeks before the deadline at the Supreme Court for a friend of the court briefs in the challenge to the Affordable Care Act's contraception mandate.
Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said in an interview that aired yesterday, negotiations over its nuclear program are not dead, even though Iran is angry about a fresh round of sanctions from the U.S. Treasury Department. The Treasury Department announced last week that it would freeze assets and ban transactions for companies and individuals that attempt to evade U.S. sanctions and continue doing business that help Iran's nuclear industry. The move prompted Iranian negotiators to leave ongoing talks in Geneva Thursday evening, saying it was against the spirit of the deal reached last month to freeze Iran's nuclear program for 6 months in exchange for limited sanctions relief, reported by CBS News.
And this is from the BBC. Syrian government aircraft have dropped barrels laden with explosives on rebel areas of the northern city of Aleppo, according to opposition activists. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said 22 people were killed. 14 of them were children. There has been no word from the Syrian government. Aleppo, which is Syria's second largest city, is divided between rebel and government-held districts, and the Air Force regularly targets rebel areas. Large parts of the city, a commercial hub, have been destroyed since a rebel offensive last year. Reports suggest a school was hit in the latest attack. The districts of Sakur, Ard al-Hamar, and Haydareh, I'm sorry, I'm probably saying that terribly wrong, were hit, according to the report.
The possibility that the Federal Reserve could finally start to trim its extraordinary stimulus for the economy could make this week an explosive one for financial markets, though the odds still point to no major policy change when U.S. central bankers meet December 17th and December 18th. Most of the recent domestic economic data suggests the beginning of the end of their massive bond buying program is coming sooner than later. If it acts, it may reflect as much a growth in confidence in the global economy, for whom the withdrawal of the flow of cheap dollars will be a shock, as the recovery in the United States alone, reported by Reuters.
From the Associated Press, a South Florida jury will begin considering whether to recommend the death penalty or life in prison for Anthony Little Tony Ferrari for the 2001 gangland-style slaying of a prominent businessman. Jurors are expected today to hear from several witnesses before they begin deliberations. Ferrari was convicted in October of murder in the shooting death of Konstantinos Gus Boulis. Boulis was ambushed by a mob hitman in his car on a downtown Fort Lauderdale street. After the jury makes its recommendation, it will be up to a circuit judge, Ilona Holmes, to impose a sentence on 56-year-old Ferrari. The trial testimony indicated Ferrari and 75-year-old Anthony Big Tony Moscatiello orchestrated the hit in a dispute over the Sun Cruise Casino's gambling fleet. Moscatiello has pleaded not guilty and will be tried later.
The Western Wall belongs to the entire Jewish people, and all Jews should feel at home at Judaism's holiest site, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said yesterday via video hookup to the Union for Reform Judaism's biennial conference in San Diego, California. This is a quote from Netanyahu. The Western Wall is in Israel, but it belongs to all of you. It belongs to you and to me, to all of us. The issue of women praying at the wall is a key issue for the reform movement, and Netanyahu said that Jewish Agency head Natan Sharansky, Cabinet Secretary Avihad Mandabile, and URJ President Rabbi Rick Jacobs are working on a compromise solution, reported by the Jerusalem Post.
And this was from the Washington Times. Senator John McCain joined a massive anti-government rally in Kiev yesterday, telling an estimated crowd of more than 200,000 that the United States supports the protest movement's goal of closer alignment with the West. We are here because your peaceful process and peaceful protest is inspiring your country and inspiring the world, Mr. McCain, who is a Republican from the state of Arizona, said. He went on to say, quote, Ukraine will make Europe better and Europe will make Ukraine better, unquote. In an interview with CNN shortly after addressing the crowd, Mr. McCain talked about the possibility of American sanctions if the Ukrainian government and its allies in Russia crack down on the protest movement.
Peter O'Toole, the charismatic actor who achieved instant stardom as Lawrence of Arabia and was nominated 8 times for an Academy Award, has died. He was 81. O'Toole died Saturday after a long illness. Steve Kennis, his agent, said in a brief statement yesterday, the family was overwhelmed by the outpouring of real love and affection being expressed towards him and to us during this unhappy time. In due course, there will be a memorial filled with song and good cheer, as he would have wished. This is reported by CBS News.
All right, that's all the time we have for News Bites. We will do it again tomorrow, of course. In the meantime, if you would like to advertise on WOCA, whether it's on that segment you just heard or on any part of the broadcast day, give us a call. The number here is 732-8000. One of our sales executives will show you how easy it is and how beneficial it is, how your dollars spent on advertising will bring in more dollars through your door, make your business more profitable this year and 2014. Got a few, I guess about a week left in this Christmas season of shopping, right? Give us a call or come by the studios at the Paddock Mall just outside the food court. And again, News Bites, we'll do it again tomorrow. How many stores today, Robin?
25.
Not bad. 25 stars. All right, we'll take a little break and move forward. We're going to learn about a pig in just a little bit. We've got Lee Schwartz coming in and Farmer Miner calling in to talk about the pig Daisy that will be at the Bellevue Public Library, correct?
Yep.
All right, we'll find out about that and see what I got right and what I got wrong in just a little bit.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. A deadly carjacking at a high-end shopping mall in New Jersey has sent a chill down the spines of holiday shoppers everywhere. Investigators say a man and his wife were confronted as they tried to get into their SUV. The man was shot and killed, and the 2 suspects drove off in their Range Rover. The parents of a 17-year-old Colorado girl who was shot and critically wounded in last week's high school shooting are asking people for prayers. Investigators say the gunman who killed himself was angry at his debate coach. School is closed for the week. China's Jade Rabbit lunar rover has started sending back pictures from the moon. It's making the first tire tracks there in about 40 years. China someday hopes to send a man to the moon. Which state has the worst drivers? Louisiana tops the list according to a survey by CarInsuranceComparison.com, followed by South Carolina, Mississippi, Texas, and Alabama. The survey also concluded the best drivers live in Fort Collins, Colorado. The Mega Millions jackpot is still up for grabs, and it'll be even bigger. At least $550 million is at stake tomorrow night. This is ABC News.
Some of our members are small business owners, and they know the secret to success is usually just that, a secret. So we built American Express Open Forum, an online community that helps our members connect and share ideas to make smart business decisions. We built this for our members, but we made it open for everyone. Connect at openforum.com. This is what membership is. This is what membership does.
A lot can happen during the life of your interstate car battery.
Nice ride.
Thanks. Want to go steady?
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Honey, I think it's time.
It's a boy.
Jimmy, soccer practice.
Dad, can I borrow the car?
Hey, nice ride.
Thanks. Want to go steady?
No battery lasts longer than an Interstate, and the new Interstate AGM lasts up to 3 times longer than the competition. To find a dealer near you, visit interstatebatteries.com.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. We're at Florida. After some morning clouds, it'll turn out partly to mostly sunny later today with a high in the mid to upper 60s. That mainly clear and chilly tonight. Lows ranging from the low 40s inland to about 53 along the coast. Tomorrow, a beautiful day with sunshine, the high 68 to 72. Wednesday, more the same. Good deal of sunshine, the high again 68 to 72. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Here are today's headlines from the source, WOCA. The same rainy weather system on Saturday that led up just in time for the Ocala Christmas parade and then came pouring down shortly after the parade was over is being blamed for spawning tornadoes that damaged 171 homes in Palm Coast, Florida. The National Weather Service office in Jacksonville yesterday confirmed an EF1 tornado with winds potentially ranging from 86 miles per hour to 110 miles per hour, passing through the area at about 7:30 p.m. Saturday. The twister, which started in Espanola in unincorporated Flagler County, tore through the B section of the city, also known as Indian Trails, which sustained some of the heaviest damage, according to Palm Coast Fire Chief Mike Beadle. City officials estimated the tornado did more than $5.3 million in damage to several neighborhoods. The tornado moved through Espanola, the B section, and then across I-95 into the older C and F sections of the city before dissipating. Despite the damage to property, no injuries were reported in Flagler County as of yesterday afternoon. The American Red Cross is providing food and shelter assistance to the area. A deadly crash on I-75 killed 3 and left 2 others in critical condition Saturday night. Multiple law enforcement agencies responding say calls came in just after 8 p.m. The crash at mile marker 387 in Gainesville, just north of Newberry Road, shut down all lanes of traffic on I-75 southbound for more than 3 hours. Florida Highway Patrol officials say the crash involved 2 vehicles. One, a white pickup truck, was separated into 2 pieces from the crash. The other car, a silver Toyota sedan, was so damaged that first responders had to remove the roof in order to reach the passengers. 3 people were confirmed dead on the scene and 2 others in extremely critical condition, according to Florida Highway Patrol spokesperson Sergeant Tracy Hissler Pace. Traffic on I-75 traveling south was diverted by Alachua County Sheriff's deputies and Gainesville police officers off of the interstate at exit 390. The victims' names were not included in the report. Ever since the October 15th launch of Florida's new $63 million unemployment website called Connect, which processes claims for 230,000 recipients, the system has been plagued with problems. Because of a 2011 law passed by the legislature, recipients must register online, a requirement that federal officials this year found violated the civil rights of the unemployed. State officials say the federal investigation was politically driven and object to that finding. With the Connect launch muddled muddled with technical glitches, receiving benefits on time was made impossible for many. Thousands of complaints flooded the offices of Governor Rick Scott, state lawmakers and officials in the Department of Economic Opportunity overseeing the website. And last Thursday, Scott's 2014 challenger for governor, Charlie Crist, joined U.S. Senator Bill Nelson and Representative Irv Schlossberg, a Democrat from Boca Raton, in calling for an investigation. Over the weekend, technicians were called in to fix 16 issues. Last Tuesday night, technicians fixed 22 issues. While the issue may play out to be a political football for politicians, the average unemployed Floridian looking for help simply wants an alternate system put in its place so that they may keep their lights turned on and feed their families. And Florida has earned a new dubious distinction. The Sunshine State ranks second on the 2013 Clumsiest State Index based on how many mobile devices we drop, drown, burn, smash, crack, crush, or otherwise disable. Nationwide, an estimated 17 million cell phones were damaged or destroyed this year, according to Square Trade, which is a San Francisco-based provider of mobile device insurance. Washington, D.C. was first on the list. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Hey, Rudolph, we're going to have to make a quick pit stop. Too much milk and cookies, I'm afraid. Uh-oh. Better call Mrs. Claus.
Hello.
Hello, dear. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I've clogged the toilet.
Where are you?
Central Florida.
Oh, wonderful. How's the weather?
Weather's fine, dear, but I need some help here.
Oh, I know just who to call. Mike Scott Plumbing. They'll be there in a dash, and they won't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays.
Oh, of course. Why didn't I think of that? What's their number?
237-2888. Did you hear me? 237-2888.
Yes, dear. Thank you. I will see you when I get home.
Okay, have a safe trip. If water runs through it, we do it. Happy holidays from everyone here at Mike Scott Plumbing.
Seth McBride here with Pastor Sports, inviting you to come down and check out our month-long Big Holiday Sale. You'll find huge discounts on our school spirit racks for local high schools, discounts on football equipment, baseball equipment, volleyball, and lots more. Check out our huge selection of Under Armour at huge discounted prices. Don't miss your chance to save this holiday season. Get the gear your kids want from Pastor Sports. Also, don't forget those customized items for this holiday season. Sale starts November 20th and ends December 20th. Pastor Sports, your local team dealer.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all.